Good evening, everybody. Whew, what an evening. And those of you coming in live now, welcome. If you're watching on the replay, just want you to know that this was recorded on Thursday, the 30th of September. No, it's not. I've lost a month there somewhere. It's been recorded on Thursday, the 30th of August, 2018, and it was carnival night. Oh, I've forgotten to put my carnival hat on. Whoops, there we go. Look, I've got my carnival garlands on. Hi, Michelle. Whoa, I'm nearly all, hi. I am nearly all carnivaled out. And what will I do when the carnivals are over? I've got a plan. I have a plan, so don't worry, fear not. Let me just, hi Ian, I take it you got home all right? Now I've got an issue with the wire, so you might have to hang on a minute, folks, because my battery, if my battery starts to go, we might have to have an issue here. Hi Shania, got home safely, I hope. So I haven't been home very long. Ian and I had we stopped for a cup of tea. Well, I had stopped for something to eat, and Ian was waiting for a bus because the buses were on diversion still. So we just had some time together. And it's lovely when I meet up with people I've met first on Facebook, then I meet them in real life, and then I sit and have meals or cups of tea with them. So that's been really nice. And so have a rest. No time for a rest, Paul. I've got tomorrow. I'm meeting somebody who's reached out through Facebook. Saturday night I'm doing the Illuminated Carnival. Sunday I'm doing the West White Carnival. And then Monday I've got to meet another live stream. Yeah, back home now. Good. And yes, I'm back home. And it was nice to have a cup of tea. Now, listen, I got home just now. Tonight it was much easier because, of course, the carnival tonight was in Ryde. And I live in Ryde, which was lovely. But I was down at Highlian. I live streamed most of the carnival from the bottom of Union Street, and Ian and I were standing at the bottom of Union Street with some other friends of mine that we'd been on the Boro bike with, and so when the carnival finished, the friends had gone, hi Leanne, and I said to Ian, do you fancy a cup of tea? And we just turned round, and we went in Long John's, just the other side of where we were standing, and so I had a lovely ham, egg and chips. Ian had eaten already, so he just had a cup of tea, and we shared some stories together, and then eventually I saw his number 3 bus go by. It comes down past Long John's, and I said, quick, go on, because he would have half an hour to wait. So he dashed to get his bus, but it didn't matter for me because I live in Ryde, and so it didn't take me long to get home. Last night I didn't get home till nearly 11:30, quarter to 12 I think it was last night. I got home before I turned into a handsome pumpkin. Anyway, hope you like the Titfa. This is my carnival Titfa, my carnival garlands. I thought I had to look a bit festive and works. I was going to say carnival-fied. That's what I was trying to say, making up a new word. And as my daddy used to say, it's what Humpty Dumpty says. It's a Humpty Dumpty word. You can make up words and they can be whatever you want them to mean. Anyway, I am having an awesome time. I'm having an awesome week, particularly this week. It's pretty full on this week. Oh my goodness, we've had 891 views to the part 2 carnival. Hi Sharon, part 2 carnival. So what happened, folks, if you weren't watching tonight, I went, it was Ryde's main carnival tonight. It's 2 years, almost the anniversary, 2-year anniversary of the day I started Isle of Wight Live. So we should be having a party. So what better way than having a party than having a carnival party? Because it was 2 years ago, Thursday, the Thursday main carnival 2016, that my son said, come on, we're going to get you going live. I was already doing live streams, but I was passionate about the Isle of Wight and very distraught that very few people were showing off the island via video or whatever, especially the powers that be that should have been doing it. Now I'm pleased to say there's a lot of drone footage, a lot of independent people getting out the drone footage and the beautiful photographs of the island, all of which I try and share on the Isle of Wight Live page. My mission is to make the visibility of the Isle of Wight, to make it the #1 destination, the one that everybody says, wow, look at all that stuff that goes on there, we want to go there. And so, you know, I took it on because the people who were marketing the Isle of Wight were not actually using live stream. They weren't using video. And 2 years later, they're still not doing it. But as I say, a lot of other lovely people on the Isle of Darwin. I'm really pleased to see all the drones out there that are capturing so much of our beautiful island. More than 50% of our island is outstanding on natural beauty, you know, and we need to be showing that off. But also people say nothing happens on the Isle of Wight. My goodness, if nothing happens, what have I been doing running around after all these carnivals? You know, there's so much happens on this island. People need to open their eyes and see. That's the ones who say there's nothing. But of course, lots of you know there are lots of things to do. And I was thinking about what will happen when the carnivals are over, because the last carnival is on Sunday. Well, we do have Isle of Wight Day, which is we'll have a parade, so that's a bit like a carnival. But after that, those finish. But of course, it doesn't mean that I go idle and I don't bring you some of the wonders of the world. In fact, Leanne and Janet have just sparked another idea in me. They were chatting with me earlier while I was sitting in Long John's having my dinner. They were sending me messages. And Leanne then said, oh, my mum's just been telling me about this. Janet is her mum, just been telling me about the 7 wonders of the world. So that set me off on another course. Right, okay. Yeah, I haven't done that much on video, so I will have to take that maybe once a week, go out and over a 7-week period and bring you the 7 wonders of the Isle of Wight. Because we have things like needles you cannot thread, cows you cannot milk, etc, etc. Hi, Sarah. And here's lovely Sarah. Yesterday, Sarah and I we became friends yesterday. She'd reached out to me because she's doing some charity fundraising. She's supporting 2 different charities. She's supporting the breast cancer awareness charities, and she is also supporting the Little Princess Trust. So obviously breast cancer awareness, you will be aware what that is. I'm sure everybody will be. And then thank you, Paul. And then the Little Princess Trust is people donating their hair to make wigs for children who have lost their hair through cancer. Little Princess Trust. Thank you, Sarah. If you've got a web link or a Facebook page, put the whole link in, then people can click on it, because this is the place where we do sharing, because sharing is caring, and we share lots of love. What I like is people who come in here, interact, and then I ask people to put their links in. What I don't like is people who think they can jump in and just put the links in. But actually, this is a wonderful community, and that hasn't really happened. I just don't want that to happen. We share the love. We share lots of love here, so we'll share it. Thank you, Sarah. So we'll share it. We'll share and care as we go along. More than happy to promote the charities, to promote people's businesses too. But I don't want it to become one great long advertising thing, because it's, this is much more than that. This is about a community coming together. And I have to say, I think gobsmacked might be a good word. When I started doing these live streams, I didn't intend to live stream every night at 10. And in fact, you only got me at 10 tonight because I got home in time. When I do the carnivals, sometimes I'm not home. And Ian had said to me, are you going to live stream? And Janet, or Leanne had said to me, are you going to live stream? And I thought, yes, I'm going to get home and I'm going to live stream, and we'll have a little chatter in our community. It's just lovely to get all the interaction. Anyway, yesterday I met Sarah, who's just come in the broadcast here. She saw me a lot on, the live stream raises your visibility. So by raising my visibility, I keep falling into everybody's Facebook feeds or whatever. And so lots more people have seen what I'm doing. And actually, that's a plan working, because that's what it's supposed to do. When somebody said to me, Lynn, you're all over the internet like a rash, almost in a critical way, I said, actually, that is the plan. Raising visibility by the power of live stream is fantastic, because, of course, so many of the other things now are getting lost in the noise. You put your message out there on Facebook and it gets lost in all the noise. If you put it out there on live stream, you're still way ahead of the game. Tristan and I were early adopters of it. We saw the power. Tristan saw it and told me the power of it. We're still, and anybody now is still an early adopter. There are a lot of people not engaging with it, but the power of it is. I mean, tonight I live streamed. So what happened? I live streamed on the sea, all round some of the carnival floats before the procession set off, and I didn't do them all. And I have to thank you. I'm pleased about that, Paul. I do. It is so important to embrace everybody. Everybody is part of the community, and everybody has a place in the community, something to do, and something, some important part. Whether you're disabled, whether you're, whatever it is, everybody has a part to play. And, they call me the Connection Queen. Originally, I got the title for connecting businesses together, but it's now connecting the community together. But, of course, I might have started it, but I can't do it on my own. Again, like I said, when we were doing the voting to get all the votes in so that Ryde became the best carnival in the country. And boy, did they do a good job out there tonight. And they were officially. So it's teamwork. So, I can start a ball rolling. If you come in and embrace it, that's fantastic. And do you know what? I feel this community is growing. Whether you're an Isle of Wight resident or not, the base, I'm based down here on the Isle of Wight, but when I talk about my community, I don't just mean my Isle of Wight community. I mean the whole community that comes in here into these live streams. We have a global audience now. I'm not sure whether we had anybody global in tonight, but we certainly had people from the mainland as well as from the island. I know that Leanne and Janet and Robert, they're all in their family in Devon. Other people were telling me, one or two people were telling me, some people, Shania came into the broadcast. She was actually further up in the parade. She's part of the Ventnor Carnival team, and so she came on live, because the idea is when you come on and you engage and you share, it's when the magic happens. It's when we work together and collaborate. And actually through these live streams, as I say, when I first hopped on, I didn't intend to live stream every night, and I did a few and it was fun and I enjoyed it. And then one night I said, I'm going to take a night off. It's a Just Giving page. There we go. Okay, Sarah. So she's just put up the Just Giving page. So if anybody wants to know about that or wants to know more, then please reach out to me or make friends with Sarah there. Sarah and her lovely friend Claire. Sarah, if you can get the link for the video we did yesterday, drop the link in as well, and then people can see. I'd rather not be fiddling about on the computer. I can do it, but if you can do it, if you can go and get the link from that. Do you know how to get the link from that? I think you probably do. If you don't, just let me know and I'll do it. But no, so that night I said I was going to take a night off, and I actually had some sad faces put, people use the sad emoji face. More than one person did. And I thought, you know what? I will actually be letting some people down if I don't come on. And so I had a role to fulfill. Thank you, Sarah. If you can't do it, I'll do it in a minute. So actually I felt that I needed to, now hang on, my wire is going to give me issues. Right, let's dismiss that. My wire is saying we might have some connection issues with the wire. If I disappear, it hasn't told me the battery's run right down yet. I'm trying to charge as I go along. Wait a minute, let's see if I can find. Do you ever have trouble with your cables, folks? I'm always having trouble with my cables, and and of course I run out of power lots. So let's just try a different cable. Don't worry, Sarah, I can teach you. These are the things that I can teach you, and you're not rubbish, you just haven't learnt yet. I just haven't taught you. So we will have another cup of tea. If I'm over in Sandown, we'll have another meet-up and another. I am coming to Sandown soon. Somebody else wants to see me in Sandown, so there we go. Now I've put another wire in, so hopefully that's charging. Let's see how we go. Oh dear. So yes, so I all the time. Sorry, I missed the previous comments to that. Let's find the page. Let's look on my big screen. You had Ian and I were discussing. Oh yes, that's right. You're all having. You know, I thought it was me, and then actually, but of course, don't forget, I go through so many broadcasts, and so I'm charging all the time. I'm charging around and I'm charging up, and this is my battery pack. And last night, look, actually tonight, we've still got 4 blue lights. There's usually 5. Whoops. 4 blue lights. There's usually 5 blue lights, and it's only taken 1. Yesterday, I had to get a local hotel to power me up because I had been out all day live streaming, and then I nearly didn't have enough juice for last night's carnival. And we've had an issue with that as well. Anyway, so the reason why I keep hopping on and doing all the live streams is because there were people who missed it when I didn't do it, and so if they would like me to broadcast and happy for me to broadcast, then I'm happy to broadcast. What I find is it's a two-way thing, because if I'm feeling a bit weary, like I am a bit tonight, but I feel energized because all of you people come in to watch. And so it sort of lifts me as it lifts other people. So I think and when you all start making connections with each other and starting being friends with each other, it's just lovely. I love to see it. I love to see when some of you start connecting. Now I've just got to go to the right page because I haven't got the right screen up here, because I literally did get in, get a quick drink, and then it was time to come on broadcast. So let's find my page so that I can watch the comments coming in. Where am I? There it is. And folks, if you sent me messages today, then please bear with me. I have had such a manic day, and I'm struggling to keep up with the messages. I will go through them all afterwards, but of course I've been out for a long time this evening. And I also had challenges through the day. I started with the first challenge. I had arranged to meet lovely Laura Skinner, who's been a Facebook friend of mine for 8 years. It flashed up in our time hop the other day that we didn't realise we'd been friends for 8 years. We've been interacting more for about the last year, and so I thought it was only about a year or 2 years, and it was 8 years we'd been friends. And then on the night of the Newport Illuminated Carnival, Laura and I met each other, but we were in the street, didn't have time to go and get a cup of coffee. It didn't work like that, so we arranged the other day to have coffee. That didn't work out, so we rearranged it for this morning. And guess what? It didn't work out again. She sent me a message this morning. I had a lie-in. Then she sent me a message and said, see you at 11:30. And I had almost forgotten, but it wasn't a problem. I was up in time and I could have got there. Anyway, sometimes things don't work out like you plan, and often plan A doesn't work. And I was running a little bit late, so I'd messaged her and she said that was fine. And then I always check my bus pass before I go to get the bus. Always check that it's still in my bag. And it wasn't. And I don't want to pay on the bus because our buses are quite expensive. And, that runs away with my pension money. And so I thought, right, I'm going to go through every bag here. It's got to be here somewhere. I turned Lilac Lil out. She was in a bit of a mess. She needed to tidy up. So I turned Lilac Lil out. I turned my handbag out. And my handbag's quite big and deep and lots of things in it. Couldn't find it anywhere. But I had a feeling it had to be somewhere here. I hadn't lost it out because my rail card was missing and I hadn't had my rail card out. So they had to be somewhere together. While I was out, I hadn't had it. They had to be somewhere together. So I hadn't panicked. But, of course, the time was running away. And I knew I'd got to be in town, for the carnival this evening. So I like to get down there about 5 o'clock so that I can see everybody before the carnival. And so I just searched and searched, couldn't find it. Eventually I did find it. It had bag must have tipped upside down, and it was next to my rail card, just over on the cupboard, down on this cupboard behind me, and I hadn't looked there. My handbag usually is down here. My Lilac Lil is down the stairs. I did all that. I looked all over the desk and that. So it wasn't to be. And so it was so late by the time I found it. I just messaged Laura and said, let's reschedule, because otherwise I would be rushing in and rushing out, and that wouldn't be fair. So, but then it didn't actually give me much time spare because we had an issue last night. When I got up this morning, I got some messages pinging in saying, where's last night's carnival? Because what I usually do is I record all the live streams. Then as they finish, I save them to my camera roll, and then I actually share them back to Facebook. That's the procedure you have to do. You have to push a share button if you want it to stay on Facebook. So I did that, and I thought that was fine. And then I saw, I think, did I see a message last night or did I see it this morning? Might have seen it last night, that it said it was blocking this video in 259 countries. And so, and it didn't give me the option. Usually it gives me the option to post, but to have the music muted, because of obviously the carnival floats are all playing music, and under the music rights, you know, you're supposed to have licenses and things for that. Well, I don't know which piece of music is copyright and which isn't. I just go and poodle out and do my thing to bring all the stuff to the community. In the past, Facebook has said, oops, are you sure you should be posting this? It's got copyright music, or something like that. And then it will let you post it, but it mutes. It says we'll post it, but we'll mute the copyright bit of music, which is fine by me, because if that's the rules, that's the rules. I don't want to get outside the rules, really, not really. And so last night it didn't give me the option. Didn't give me the option at all. It just said, we're blocking this video. And I think, oh no, I've been out there. Lots of people have watched. Lots of people want to rewatch, because not only all the lovely people coming in across the world who watch the carnival while it's happening, but all the people in the carnival don't see the carnival, because if you're in a carnival, you don't see the carnival, because it's all happening either behind you or in front of you. And so a lot of the carnival people love it, because they can go home from the carnival, sit down with a cup of tea and watch the carnival all over again, or, you know, watch the carnival through so they can see themselves. And so, but, you know, so there was not much pressure then on me to make sure it got up, because so many people wanted to see it. I don't mind. You know, it's okay. I'm gonna solve this. But all afternoon I was thinking about how do we do this. Reached out to my son. He was very busy because he had another issue of his own going on at the time, you know, as happens. And so I thought there is a way. There will be a way. I have a little book here. Never Give Up, you know, and it's one I read to some nights. I read bits out of here, you know, and self-trust is the first secret of success. Failure is a part of every journey. But of course, in my books, failure is not an option. Give yourself credit where credit is due. Still round the corner, there may wait a new road or a secret gate. And it says you don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. And that's a Richard Branson quote. And so in my book, you never, ever give up. And so, you know, that's I just love all these little books that I read to you. I haven't read out of them for a while, have I? But it's been so busy with all the carnival stuff. Anyway, so I was having this Facebook issue, and sorry, I still haven't got myself on the right page. How bad is this? I think it's just because I'm weary. Anyway, so I tried all afternoon. I tried working it out. People were reaching out to me. Some people said, oh, maybe it's the Toy Story music. I said, no, it's not the Toy Story music, because the Toy Story have been in most of the carnivals and it hasn't happened. I think Toy Story is Disney, and they did object slightly, but actually that's where some of the music got muted, so that was okay. Hi, Samantha. So no, eventually I worked it out that it was I don't even know what the music was, but it was on towards the end of the carnival. The leisure people, that's our leisure centres on the Isle of Wight. They had a wonderful float. They did a fantastic dancing routine. It was an illuminated carnival. They were all lit up. It was fantastic. Took loads of, you know, live streamed them lots. And I think it was their music that blocked it, because actually, when I was recording last night, the broadcast actually stopped. I don't know if anybody noticed who was watching it actually stopped, and it came up on my screen. It said delete or resume, and it was something to do with this is copyright music. And so I didn't want to delete, because I knew there would be a way around it. So I pushed resume. So I resumed the live stream, and of course, obviously Facebook. Obviously, Warner's are stricter than Disney and one of the other companies that had the same issue. And so it didn't post at all. When I woke up this morning, I could see it on my wall, But people were sending messages saying, where's the video? I can't find it. I want to share it with everybody. And so it alerted me to the fact that obviously I could see it, but nobody else could. So I thought I hadn't got it saved on camera roll. I thought it hadn't let me last night. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And so I thought we might have an issue here, but there must be a way. I'm sure somebody, as I say, never give up. There must be a way. So I was most of the afternoon trying to work it out. Lovely. I did a broadcast to ask people, because fantastic method here. I'm finding that my Facebook feed is better than Google now. Sometimes I Google things, I don't get the answer, but I put it out on Facebook, and I think only once did I never get an answer from a question I asked on Facebook. So my Facebook community are fantastic. So I jumped on there and I did a live stream saying I'm a bit stuck. What can one do? And people were making some suggestions. One lovely lady reached out and tried to help me. Then I couldn't send it to her because it was too big, and then there were lots of issues. In the end, I suddenly realised that I could, because what I do is I save them to camera roll, share them back to Facebook, but then I always upload them to YouTube as well. I haven't promoted my YouTube channel. I put them up there. I put use the real estate at the bottom, that magical place there where you can put all your links, and anybody using YouTube should be doing that. And the numbers of YouTube channels I've looked at, and they're not putting the keywords in, and all the, it's absolute magical, that bit underneath where you can put all those things in. And it works because I know it works, but as I say, I didn't want to promote YouTube. I wanted to promote Facebook because we wanted all the stats in one place so that we could see the views all coming in one place rather than diluting it to two. The reason I wanted it in both, one of the reasons I wanted it in both is, Tristan is my advisor, my business mentor. He's my son. And he has always said, Mum, if one of those platforms ever goes, if you've got it somewhere else, then that's fine. I also save them to Google Photos as well. So I actually have them in 3 places. So anyway, so this is, information for any of you trying to save stuff. Don't save it in one place. Save your stuff in more than one place because, for heaven forbid that Facebook goes. People will say, oh, it never will. But, there was Bebo, there was MySpace. They were all platforms out there before, and people perhaps thought they would never go. So you can never believe that any of these platforms won't go down. So if you've got more than one platform, share your stuff to more than one. So anyway, I realised that, normally that's what I do. So I put my stuff up on YouTube, and actually people have been finding me. The children in the carnivals keep telling me they're watching my YouTube channel. And it was, it was interesting because I'd never promoted it. But as a social media manager and social media savvy person, I knew that it was a good place. It's the second biggest search engine in the world. That's how people find things. And but it was just fun to see that it was a good thing to do, because these children said, I'd noticed on my YouTube channel that suddenly I was getting a lot of views to some of the videos, and bearing in mind I hadn't promoted it, it was quite interesting. But it was the children on the carnival floats. They'd been Googling carnivals, Mardi Gras, or anything like that, and my things were coming up. And so, sorry, I'm just going to take a drink here. Hang on. There we go. Hi, did I say Samantha? I can't remember whether I say hello to everybody as they come in. I try to. Yes, so these children have been watching me on YouTube, and there was a little boy who lives down the road, Jake, and he said yesterday to me, because we were on the same bus coming home from Sandown Illuminated Carnival, and he lives in the same road as me. This time he was with his mum. The previous time he was with his granny, and he said to me, thanks for the shout out. And what I'd done, I talked about, Jake telling me that he'd seen me on YouTube, and I asked him how he found me, and he was looking for the Mardi Gras anything to do with the Mardi Gras. Hi, Samantha. And so he liked it when I gave a shout out. And in fact, Lots of people are asking me to do shout outs for their children, and apparently the children are absolutely loving it. I suppose as a child, if I was watching the TV and somebody might have said my name, which it didn't happen then, I think I'd have been very excited too. So it's rather nice to see that there's an excitement. Whoosh, my hat's making me hot. Rather, that children are getting excited with it. But yes, so YouTube, don't forget, if any of you've got messages to get out there, do your Facebook Lives and then get them over to YouTube as well. But of course, if you do want them to be found, and I did want it to be found. I wasn't hiding it, but I just was promoting it over more on Facebook. You can share, you can share these across all the platforms. So, when our mine's on YouTube, it will then get shared out, when I do start pushing the stuff more, or sometimes I do some things, it will get shared from YouTube to Twitter, or YouTube to LinkedIn, or Facebook to, you can share these things in every place. If you put them under everybody's noses, if you've got a message to get out there, do what I've been doing. Put it under everybody's noses. It's how a lot of you lovely people came into my live stream. Some of you have met me through the carnivals. Some of you have met me because the live streams popped up. And I know my lovely friends in Devon, Janet and Robert and Leanne. I know that they found my live streams. They've been watching the Isle of Wight ones for a year now. And while I'm talking about them, I had a package today. I wasn't expecting a package, but a package popped in my door just before I went out. And I thought, I'm going to be late, but actually I'm going to open that package because I want to see what's in it. And in my package, wow, look at this. Now, it's not this is for my birthday. It's not my birthday yet, so I'm lucky. I've got early birthday presents. I don't expect birthday presents anymore, but this was really, really exciting. Look at this. A glittery notebook and another glittery notebook and a glitter birthday card. Look, and Leanne's made this card for me, all with glitter. Look, happy birthday. Can you see all the glitter there? Some lovely cups of tea, because I do drink my way through an awful lot of cups of tea. And then inside, she's put a lovely greeting. To Lynn, #GoLiveGranny. Happy birthday from Leanne, Janet and Robert Johns. And that's my lovely friends in Devon. But I must tell you what it says on the front of the books, because I don't think you can see because it was too shiny. It says, some girls are just born with glitter in their veins. There we go. And you know me, you can never have too much sparkle. I haven't got a lot of sparkle on tonight. There's a bit of sparkle on my hat. I did have Lilac Lil. I had pink tinsel all the way around Lilac Lil's handle tonight. This one says, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. It is what I try to do. So look at these two wonderful. And I was at the point of buying some new notebooks. So there we are. They got there first. Wasn't I lucky? And it's not even my birthday for another week and a bit. And so that was just lovely. Lovely. Really, really appreciate that very much. But, it was so nice of you to give me that. I've got some other props here. Do you know what? I'm supposed to have been doing some knitting. I've promised somebody some knitting items by Sunday. I think I'm going to have to do a knit-a-thon tonight and a knit-a-thon tomorrow night and a knit-a-thon on Saturday night to catch up. But I will. Look, here's my knitting. I've got some things to do. The other day I took the knitting out. I had all the time to knit on the bus and forgot the knitting book. There's the pattern. I have them together. I'm going to knit when I finished on the broadcast. Do some knitting. I won't stay up all night because I do need to sleep. So I just got those over there. I like to have some props sometimes. So I need to get on with the knitting. As I say, I've been far too busy out live streaming. And of course, the amount of live streaming I've been doing, I need then to get it all up onto social media. Then people comment on all the live streams, and I'm not complaining about that at all. But I have to try and keep up because I like to reply to everybody's comment. I like to thank everybody who shares my broadcasts. I'm going to take this off. Do you mind? It's too hot, just too hot now. Whew. Let's take these off. Whoops. I'm just getting a bit hot. Let's take the cardigan off as well. And that's where I'm going to stop, folks. This is not a striptease show. It's just cooling. I need to be a cool dude now rather than a hot dude. There we go. So that's it. And so, yes. So, but what a ball I've been having. And I hope a lot of people have come into the broadcasts, especially the carnival ones, and said how grateful they are, because there's a lovely lady who's just made friends with me. She'd reached out to me and we weren't actually Facebook friends, and now we've made Facebook friends. And she was a lady who used to come into the carnivals. I don't know if she's watching in now. She used to do the carnivals, or certainly watch the carnivals, but now she's not she's not able to get out so much, and so she can have the carnival in her home, in her house. Hi, Princess Lambert. And so isn't that a nice thing to do? It's just so nice that I'm able to facilitate that. You know, I'm a facilitator, and, you know, I open it up and other people run with it, like all the different things that I've done. I don't do everything on my own. I can do one bit and somebody else can do the next bit. And I've had some wonderful comments coming in about how people can, you know, maybe you've got young children, you don't want to take them out. I mean, some people take their young children out, some people prefer not to. If you can sit at home and watch from there, you know, from your sofas. When it's a wet night, then people love it when I'm out in the rain and they're sitting at home. And talking of wet, not wet nights, but wet days, those of you who shared the other day, I mean, lots of you share lots of things. I was very excited when we did I did the interview with Liz about the carnival and getting votes in to make Ryde Carnival the best in the country. It is the best in the country, but then we won the bragging rights because they were voted best in the country, but it went to public vote. We had to move those votes very fast because we were behind by 800, and that was Friday night, and by Tuesday night we managed to go 500 into the lead. So it was all working together. But one of the things that I did to facilitate that was do an interview with Liz. Now that interview, lots of you saw and lots of you shared, and it had, in 24 hours, it had 9,000 views. Now I didn't make that happen I didn't do that on my own. It was all of you. So that was amazing. I was amazed at that. Very, very pleased. I know the power of social media is fantastic, but it's just coming up with the numbers now. So having done that, how thrilled do you think I was when last Sunday I wasn't thrilled to be standing in the rain, I tell you, but I don't mind because I have an audience. But I was thrilled when that live stream ended up I haven't looked today because people are still sharing it. And don't forget, it's not even 1 week round yet. It was Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the pouring rain. I made a little shelter over my head so that I could hold my camera under a little tarpaulin. Lilac Lil cooperated because I clipped the tarpaulin to her and up over my head, held the camera, and it was dry under there. And we have had 23,000 views last time I looked, and that is the power of social media. And I just can't get enough people to get on and to do the streaming. You may have seen, if you looked at the title of this broadcast, there were various things with hashtags on them, and I'm just going to explain what they are, but I still haven't got on my page. How silly am I? So it says hashtag Go Live Granny. Now everybody is calling me Granny, the Go Live Granny. It seems to be a wonderful title. It was given to me by lovely Lottie, who's part of the Ladies That Go Live. 3 ladies who are encouraging people. You love the blue canopy, Paul. That canopy was £1 in Poundland. I bought it to go over Lilac Lil, my trolley, because when it's pouring with rain, the rain gets in the side and it gets into my handbag. So I just clipped that over the whole lot. But, you know, needs must when the devil drives. So it was £1 and the clips were £1. So, you know, and it's been marvellous in so many situations, but that was just the perfect thing, Paul. I did, you know... No, not Hearst. Sorry, not Hearst's. I know I should try Hearst's first, but it wasn't. It was Poundland. I mean, how much would it have cost me in Hearst? Probably a bit more. I don't know where. I think when I went to buy it, I happened to be in Poundland, and I saw them, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I do share the love a lot, Paul. I will share, you know. And I do try to shop local. You have some for you do have some for £1. Do you? Okay, well, we'll have to see. I'll come in again. I'll come and find. I tell you what, though, Paul, what I will give Hurst a shout out because Lilac Lil needed a repair. And Lilac Lil, the handle, Lilac Lil is my trolley. Anybody watching in who is this Lilac Lil? Lilac Lil is my famous trolley, and she is famous. She's getting in all sorts of people's pictures, on all sorts of people's radars. She is my shopping trolley, but she's also like a support to me when I walk around. It's just easier. Anyway, she had a foam. She had foam round the handle's metal, and she had foam round it. Well, poor Lilac Lil gets, when people offer me, there's a lot of lovely people who offer me lifts, and so she gets pushed in cars and pulled out of cars. She doesn't seem to mind. It's quite good because, you know, people don't stop offering me lifts just because I've got a trolley. We work it out and we push her in. Well, because of that, the rubber, the foam rubber, sort of might have got knocked several times as it been pushed in and pushed out. And of course, where I hold it, it was getting worn. And so it got so worn that I had to replace it. Now, if I went to the people who made the trolley, I knew it was going to cost me an arm and a leg. And don't forget, I'm a pensioner now. So somebody suggested some foam, pipe foam. For Hurst. I know Hurst do that. So I went in, and the lovely people in Hurst, they always do look after me. And so not only did they, find what I needed, but they even cut it to size for me. So because it was a very long piece of foam, and so they cut it to size. And so I had that bit on, and I put the spare bit in my trolley, and off I went. Of course, the only thing about foam that lags pipes is it's got a joint down it, because it has to go over, it has to lag round the pipes like that. And so, of course, in due course, it didn't stay closed shut. So it got very tatty fairly quickly. So anyway, don't forget, I'd got the other piece. I had two pieces. And so I put the second one on. But this time I bound it round with tape. So it did last a lot longer. I don't think the tape came from Hurst. I think the tape came from Poundland too. But sorry, we're sharing the love here. Anyway, so tonight, it was still getting a bit dodgy. So I was thinking I must come to Hurst and get some more, or see if you've got something else that's like foam that doesn't split down the middle. Anyway, there will be a solution. But tonight it was a bit tatty. But because it was carnival night, I found some lovely pink tinsel, and I wound the tinsel, and it was a very, very long piece of tinsel. And I did this on the bus. Hi, Mike. Very much amusing the other passengers there. So I think they thought I thought it was Christmas, and I was winding this pink tinsel, all round my handle, and it was so long it went round 3 times, so it made it nice and firm to hold. So for a minute it's like that, but when I take the tinsel off, I will try Hurst's first. So there we go. Hurst being, and for those of you who don't know, Hurst is a shop. We have one in Ryde. There's more than one on the island. How was the evening? It was fantastic, Mike. You'll need to watch this replay. But yes, so sparkle all the way. Absolutely. Tinsel on the trolley, tinsel on me. I say. Where's Mike's just come in. Mike, you didn't see me wearing my carnival hat and all my carnival garlands. I've taken them off because I'm too hot now. So it was making me too hot. But the carnival... Mike, you'll have to go back and watch the replay because we had a marvellous time. But what I want everybody to do is share those out. But some of you coming late into the broadcast might not have realised I did 3 live streams tonight. I did the one talking to the carnival people before the floats set off, but I didn't do the whole thing. I went down a lot of the carnival floats, but because it was such a long carnival today, some of the floats were way down the boating lake. If anybody knows Ryde, right down the other end. And I thought, if I go all the way down there, I'm not going to be this end when I need to be this end, and it all starts. That's what happened last year, and I had to run, and everybody laughed at me, and they were saying, "Go, Granny, go!" There's Matt, another one of the volunteers, one of the Newport Carnival team. Hi, Matt. Doesn't seem we had an issue with copyright music tonight, Matt. So anyway, so I didn't live stream everybody on that first bit, because I was riding on the I was calling you, Matt. I was at the bottom of Union Street, because what happened, I did this is what I'm just going to explain, Matt. Because I normally like to live stream at the beginning of the parade when everybody's fresh and all the floats are close together. By the time everybody's been all around the town, and of course our ride is very hilly, so by the time everybody's been up to town and all the way round and all the way round and all the way down, all the floats are getting further apart. So I normally like to live stream at the front, and that had been my intention until I got an invite from Dominic. Dominic runs the Bow bike on Ride Seafront, and the Bow bike is like a big beach hut on wheels, and hang on, a big beach hut on wheels, and people pedal. There we are, Newport. Oh right, Mike's putting all the links in for all the hearse, I think, is it? Yeah, okay. No, you. Oh, you didn't see me on the Bow bike. So what happened? I said to Dominic I would go on the Bow bike and live stream from there, but I didn't want to miss live streaming the carnival. So I'd said if he was at the back of the parade, I could live stream the parade and then hop on the Bow bike at the back. What I didn't realise at that point was he was only going along the first bit. He didn't go up the steep hills because, of course, that's too much pedalling. These are seven-seater beach hut bike, folks. Looks like a beach hut on wheels with lots of... But there are some non-pedal seats, and I was invited to go on and do the live streaming. But then it turned out that it wasn't going to be... he wasn't going to go all the way. So I thought, oh, now how am I going to do this? And he wasn't going to be at the back either, so I couldn't do that. So anyway, we had a plan. We did it because it was such fun. So we had a plan, and the plan was that I would get on, and I wasn't sure where I was going to put Lilac Lil, because in the past I had to go and park Lilac Lil when I had a ride on the Bow bike. But actually what I did today, I said, you know, I think it will fit in the back seat, because there was nobody else in the back seat with me. We actually... lifted up, or Dominic lifted Lilac Lil up. She sat on the back seat, so she had a ride too, and so I was in the back seat, and it went off towards the beginning of the parade, so I wasn't able to do. But what I was able to do was live stream all the people along the side and the people behind, and it was quite fun, that bit. So there are three streams tonight. I don't know if the first one I did on my brand, my own Lynn Blackdade's business page. I'll put them all together. I'll share them on everything anyway. And so that was rather fun. But then what happened as we got to Ryde Castle? So of course that's not very long from the boating lake to Ryde Castle. Oh, ouch! That cricked my neck. Not very long along there, but there were a lot of people along there, and both my brothers and one of my brother's wives were along there, so I saw family along there. And so at that point, the carnival turns up Dover Street and goes up the hill. What happened? Dominic went the other side of the roundabout, because don't forget the traffic's all closed off now, the other side of the roundabout, and he was going to drive the Bow bike back to the end of the pier, the wet end of the pier, where he parks it overnight. And the chip, you saw the chip. Yes, I'll come to the chip. Wasn't I naughty? How naughty am I? and so I'll tell you about the chip in a minute, folks who didn't see it. So the Bow bike went past Super Bowl, and what Dominic did, he dropped us off at just on the roundabout by the bottom of Union Street. So we got out there, and then my plan was to catch the carnival as it came to the bottom of Union Street. And Matt, you were on the other side, and I called to you, but there was so much noise going on you didn't hear me, but I got you on camera, so you're there. I did see you. Yes. So as we were going along in the beach bike, what Paul is referring to is I saw my friend Nikki, and she got some fish and chips in a wrapper, and she was she was not in the front of the crowd, she was at the back of the crowd, and I called to her while I was on live. That's why you didn't see me. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people did, though. A lot of people did see me, and And so I saw Nikki, and she didn't hear me, but the people in front of her did, and they turned around and they told her that I was calling to her. And I said, come on. I said, I want a chip too. So she ran after the Burro bike in the road. It was funny, wasn't it, Paul? My mission is to educate, inspire and entertain. And if I can entertain by getting somebody to run after me with chips or whatever it is, or putting silly hats on or whatever it is, then my mission is done. You can hear my voice is wearing out. But it was fun. I did enjoy it. And so then, as I say, we got off there. And then, of course, that was only, the parade left at 6:30. And so we got there, and there was hardly anybody on the street ready to watch then, because it wasn't even 7 o'clock by the time we were there. And I don't think you got down to the bottom of there till nearly 8:30, I think it was. Or perhaps, no, that's when the parade finished. So it was a very long time coming round. But what had happened, I was between a rubbish bin and a lamppost. Because what I have to do is stand where nobody's going to suddenly stand in front of me. Thank you. Yeah, because sometimes, if you're sideways on the street, then somebody will go and stand in front of you, and then I don't get the best view for all of you. It was about 8:30. That's right. I thought so, Matt. Anyway, so I thought, right, if I stand between the lamppost and the bin, nobody's going to block my view because the bin is there. They won't stand on the bin. Well, I didn't think they would, and if they did, I would tell them off. Anyway, so there was that space, but I couldn't stand for however long it was going to take, because I'm not supposed to stand for long at all. I mean, I've broken all the rules all summer. Anyway, so my friends that had been on the Burro bike with me, they were standing there waiting. They're more able than me, and they were going to wait and stand there till the carnival came. So they said, put Lil in that gap, and she can save you a space. And over in front of the pub or the chip shop, there was a seat. So I went and sat down on the seat for ages and ages, catching up on social media, because I had. Now, can you imagine? Now, so many of you are connecting with me. My phone is pinging almost non-stop. So if ever I don't catch a message, please forgive me. But since I've been doing the carnivals, loads of the carnival people are now actually connecting with me. It's lovely. It's the community coming together. It's what I always wanted to do. Bring a community, bring the community together and show how the magic works, and actually teach all those people. Thank you. And all those people who don't get it, those people who think that we're all in opposition to each other, we're in competition to each other. No, it's collaboration over competition. There is, even if you're in a similar business, working together actually makes magic happen. And the magic has been happening over the summer. It's been amazing. This community now, I never sit here talking to myself. There's always people popping in and out of my broadcast. And I don't mind whether you're a lurker who sits in the back and doesn't, so we have lurkers, we have likers, and we have lovers. And that's a whole story for another day. It's all about whether you lurk in the background. And I don't mean it rudely. It's just sitting there in the background. Some people prefer the quiet sitting and watching and not ever saying anything. That is perfectly fine. And then there are the ones, the likers, who interact a bit. And then there are the lovers who interact, obviously, lots more. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Whichever way you want to do it. It's fine to drop in whatever time you like and hop out whatever time you like. Some people apologise when they come in late. But actually, it doesn't matter. I'm here. This is not like EastEnders, and if you don't put it on at 7 o'clock, it's that's it. You have to be there at 7 and you have to be finished at 7:30. No, you could. Of course, you can always have the replay. It's a bit like iPlayer, isn't it? Not quite the same. Anyway, but I don't know if you saw tonight. I had a big hug from Nipper, and Nipper is the big. Anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Nipper is the big crab that's going to be helping with the beach clean on Isle of Wight Day, appears in most of the carnivals, and as I say, I got a great big hug from Nipper. I got a great big hug from one of the Toy Story characters. The family that do the Toy Story presentation. I mean, I think they're really adopting me as their granny, as are the Vectis Corps of Drums. The Vectis Corps of Drums weren't there tonight. It was the White Diamonds and the Medina Marching Band. Vectis Corps of Drums, I think, are in the parade on Sunday. But they're all starting to want to adopt me as their granny. My family is growing very, very huge, but I'm loving it, as you can see, because, you know, being a granny to lots of other people is what I like. And if I can help anybody, then I will. That's what I do. But lots of you have helped me. You know, you really do help me with all these things. Along the way today, I picked up 2 leaflets because the carnival is an ideal opportunity for any business to get out there and spread the word. And so I got given this, and I heard, you might hear me in the broadcast, I heard somebody say the word free tea. And so I said, I'll have one of those. And I'll tell you what it says. I'm going to give it a plug. Isle of Wight Bus and Coach Museum opens Sundays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, 10 till 4 until the end of October. Extra open days are Friday the 31st, that's tomorrow, and Saturday the 1st of September. Free mug of tea or coffee with this voucher, so I mustn't lose my voucher. Visit us during the International Classic Car Show on Sunday the 16th of September, so I might do the Classic Car Show for you folks if you'd like me to go and do that. And free bus between the show bus museum and the museum. Wonderful bus museum in Ryde. Lots of wonderful volunteers looking after all those wonderful vintage buses. It's a lovely place. I have live streamed it. I will go and live stream it again. And they do events from there on a regular basis. And they get people coming from across the UK to join in their events. The other leaflet I had was the Isle of Wight Day. And so join us in Cowes on Saturday the 22nd of September for one of the traditional highlights of Isle of Wight Day, the parade, sponsored this year by Island Car Company Esplanade. And so there's all details there. And there is, if you want to be in the parade, deadline for entries was the 10th of August, and we've gone past that, haven't we? So obviously you can't be in the parade, you'll just have to watch it. Okay, sorry, I didn't realise that as I started to read that out. Anyway, so find them on Twitter, Facebook, and at isleofwightday.com. And so that was Nipper, you know, the big crab that gave me a big hug, gave me a bear hug. How can a crab give you a bear hug? Anyway, so full credit to everybody who was there, all the volunteers tonight, all the people who turned out to line the streets, because it's, you know, no good running a parade if there's nobody to watch. So the watchers are very important. The volunteers are important. All the people who do all the work all year to make these things happen. And as I say, Ryde Carnival is the best. It is the best, and it's official because it was voted the best recently, and lots of you lovely people put votes towards that. So anyway, so it's been a very, very busy week for Go Live Granny, and that's only probably part of what I've done this week. So tomorrow I'm chilling with one of these lovely people in the broadcast here. I'm having coffee, I believe, in the morning. I think so. I've got to check my diary. I think that's right. Then... So that'll be nice. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to, and I might do some live streaming here. There's 3 businesses that are on one of the same industrial estates are having a, that's fine, Janet. I love it because you love it. That's, you know, it's a two-way thing. So they're having a party, like a summer party tomorrow. I'd seen it advertised and I thought it was by invite only. I thought it was a Chamber of Commerce event. Then I bumped into one of the ladies who owns one of the businesses, and she said, "Are you coming on Friday?" I said, "Oh, I don't know if I was. I was considering gate crashing it," I said. Anyway, she said, "No, you're more than welcome." So I'm going to go and do some hobnobbing, some networking, some live streaming probably, because live streaming about local businesses, you know, and one of those businesses is a pest company. And I don't mean a pest like me. I mean, you know, getting rid of the pests, those unwanted pests. Well, maybe I'm an unwanted pest. I don't know. I joke. Well, maybe it's not a joke. Maybe I am an unwanted pest, but, you know, some of you seem to like coming into the broadcast. And I'm loving all the love that's coming in, folks. You know, I do appreciate it. And it's just so lovely. The relationships, the friendships I've built over the summer, it's just amazing. And it's as I say, bringing the community together, whether you're Isle of Wight community or whether you're our extended Isle of Wight community, you're all welcome. And it just, who knows where this one's going to go? because when you collaborate and work together, the magic really happens, you know. And this is what I wanted to happen more when I was chair of Ride Business Association, but it didn't happen then. I gave up the chair of Ride Business Association 2 years ago, but it doesn't matter. The magic's happening now, and it's good. It's fantastic, because I just think the more we work together, we can really achieve so much. You know, it is making teamwork makes the dream work. No I in team, you know. And so the more we work together, whether we are in Devon supporting the Isle of Wight, or the Isle of Wight can be supporting Devon, it's a two-way thing, you know, because the people in Devon have been sharing some of their live streams with me, and I've been watching the Dawlish Carnival and other things that went on when they shared their broadcasts the other way. So it's really just a nice thing. Anyway, it is getting late. I do need to refresh and recharge if I'm still to be on my feet for Saturday night and the Illuminated Carnival. That sets off at 8:30 on Saturday night. I'm going to go out and get myself illuminated, I think. I think I need to have a little bit of, you know, some of those little lights all around me. And I met somebody, a friend who lives down the road, and I said, oh, I think I'm going to be illuminated on Saturday. And he said, oh, I've got some lights if you need them. So there we go. I better go and knock on his door and see if we can brighten up Lilac Lil, and you know, I'll have lights, see if I can do the, you know, go mad on that one. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you now. Actually, no, I'm not, because, well, if I can find my lovely book. Hang on, folks. I'm just down on the floor. Here we go. Sorry. Night, Paul. Before I go, I'm just going to read the entry out of the Butterfly Whispers for today. I've no idea what it says. What date are we? I've forgotten. Oh, the 30th. The 30th of August. My goodness, another month almost over. Let's see. And yes, look, Janet, who lives in Devon, has been doing business with Stitching Elmer's, which is at the top of Ryde, in Ryde High Street. And you see, there we go. That's partly why they call me the Connection Queen. And it's lovely to see that business is going that way. There we go. And so just before we go, this is the final bit. I'm going to read the entry for the 30th of August. I haven't reread it. Usually I read them first, but I didn't get time. There are 3 pans of boiling water, each on high fire. In the first pan are carrots. The second contains an egg, and coffee beans are in the third. After 20 minutes, the burners are turned off. Each of these objects had faced the same adversity, boiling water, and each reacted differently. The carrot went into the water strong, hard, and unrelenting. After being subjected to boiling water, it softened and became weak. The egg had been fragile. Its thin outer shell had protected its liquid interior, but after sitting in boiling water, it inside became hard. The ground coffee beans were unique, however. After they were in the boiling water, they had changed the water. Which are you? When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Do you go weak like the carrot? Do you toughen up like an egg? Or do you adapt and change the situation around you? May we all be coffee. And I certainly attempt to be the coffee. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But as I say, never give up. And together we can make the magic happen. Night, folks. See you all again soon. And sleep tight. Bye.